Hey YouTube, it's Jurrac Master, and this is going to be my Chaos Jurrac deck update. It's been a while since I've done really a deck for you guys. I finally got my tour guides, which is why I've been holding up on a lot of deck profiles. So, be looking for more deck profiles coming from me real soon. Unfortunately, I had to sell my card Ds because I wasn't really using them. And I did have one deck for you guys that does really well that uses card D, so I'll have to do that on Dueling Network probably. Get some duels in, show you how it works, but I think it does pretty well. So, I'm gonna jump right into the deck. It's a pretty standard Jurrac lineup. I'll explain a few things, but not much. First off, we have the 3 Guaiba and 3 Velo. You can't really do without those guys because of the fact that we have the Evil Czars, so 2 Dino and 2 Aolo. At first I was going to go 3 Dino, 1 Aolo, but there's a reason behind it. I'll just briefly do that in a minute. And obviously the Kinkabayo, I love that loop. It works really well, especially with all the chaos aspect. It's a dark. I've got my 3 tour guides in here now. The Sangan. 3 Veilers. Often the Sangan does search the Veiler or an Aolo. It's pretty much all he ever searches. And finally the Blackluster Soldier. So to get into the spells, we've got 3 Fossil Dig, 3 Forbidden Lance, Book of Moon, Pot of Avarice, Reborn, Dark Hole, and Heavy Storm. The traps, we've got Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warning, 2 Dark Bribe, 2 Deep Prison, 2 Torrential, and 1 Fiendish Chain. I liked having a 40 card deck, so I only put in 1 Fiendish Chain, and I'm not running Chalice, but I feel I've got enough monster effect negation. If they should go off with a Lagia or a Dolka or something, I've got plenty of things to try to get around that. If they go Dolka, obviously I have 3 Lances. If they go Lagia, they can only negate 1 thing, and I've got multiple cards that they would have to negate in order to survive. So, it's not a really big deal. Now, the one thing in the main deck that I wanted to touch on real quick was the 2 Aolo, 2 Dino, as opposed to 3 Dino, 1 Aolo. And that's, a lot of it is because, not really because of Kinkabayo, like you might think, because I've got 3 Veilers for that. The loop isn't that important. I'd rather just finish the Chaos set, draw a card, and then summon Blackluster Soldier in a lot of cases. But what really is important is the fact that he's searchable with Sangan if all else fails, and he can get back one of these if I really need it. And the reason that I was big on those was because of the fact that I'm now running the tour guides, and with tour guide I want more level 3s to be able to make rank 3s, just to have more rank 3 options in my extra deck means I want more level 3s in the deck. So that's really the reasons behind that choice, and it just gives me more synchro options, even though synchros don't play as big a role in this game as they used to. So, for the extra deck, pretty standard up to a point. Obviously, I'm running the 3 Lagia and 2 Dolka that my Jurracs typically run. 1 Leviair. I have a build that runs 2. That's my Chaos Macro Jurrac build that I probably will do for you guys, but it needs a little tweaking first. I have Zenmaines, Leviathan Dragon, and Tempo. So, just, I didn't run any extra rank 4s. I'm not running Mind Control or anything like that. No need for them. I would pretty much always want to go into the Evil Czars, and if not, I can always find a way around it. Next up would be the Synchros, so to start off with Mistworm. I decided on going with 2 Black Rose Dragons, the Bryonic, Cataster, and Formula Synchron. So, just a quick little breakdown of the extra deck. As we all know, He's a quick little drop to get a light monster out there. Should you be stuck with Aolo and Kinkabayo, you can get him out there, get him to the grave. He draws you a card. And he's just a quick little thing to let you draw a card when you use Effect Veiler and Kinkabayo at the same time. So that's why he's in there. The double Black Rose, I've been doing one level 7 only, and if I do 2 level 7s, I typically add in Giganoto. But, I mean, when is this ever going to be worth it? What do we have? We have 10 Jurracs, and most of the time you're not going to have all 10 in there. Giganoto can be strong, but there's a lot of effect negation out there now. So I'd rather have the 2400 and the ability to try to bomb the field twice. It's a lot more effective. They're ghost rares, sorry. They're not as good for videos, but they're a lot nicer in the extra deck. So, Mistworm, I know there is that problem of the, you can't use the tour guide summon for it. That's just gonna be how it has to go, honestly. Tour guide itself can be used for it, assuming it's not summoned off of another tour guide, so leads into some plays, but a lot of the time you Mistworm when you've got something off of Guaiba, so say you go double Guaiba, and then you've just got a floating monster, level 1 in your hand. A lot of times it's Effect Veiler. It gets you, it's a good setup, honestly. If you have, I'll go back to that, if you have 2 of the level 4s, you've already used your tour guides earlier in the duel, so they're in the graveyard, and they're not really using effect monsters that you want to get rid of the effects on, so summon this, sync up, he comes out, helps you clear out some of the problematic cards on the opponent's field, and then obviously after that you can feel free to drop Blackluster Soldier and have the both of them. And if you really want to be funny, you can just, if you had the builds that could do this, you could level leader and then, you know, overlay. But that's just stupid. It's just kind of funny to think about being able to do that. I've done that with Lightsworn before. Drop a rank 8 exceed. I've done that. And then I do want to briefly touch on this a little bit more. No extra ones like Roach or Utopia in this build, because when am I going to go into those? If anything, I would have Pearl in there for the 2600 attack, but what can't these guys get around? Because if you're in the position where you can make a rank 4 exceed, you're typically not losing in attack unless the opponent set a monster that your Guaiba could run over. But a good player probably won't run into that problem against you. So really, you're not going to have that big a problem with it. And if you're having a problem with attack, you can always do these, because monsters don't typically have that great a defensive attribute to them. And then, assuming it's not a real big problem, you've got plenty of other answers to that. Just throwing things out there now, I mean, plenty of answers to get around high attack. So honestly, you're always in the better situation when you can make the rank 4s anyway, but even if you weren't going to be able to, you've got that option of clearing them out first and then making more rank 4s. So it's just the option is there. I like to have options that I feel like taking out Stardust, which is something else I wanted to talk about. I feel like that can be risky, but if you look at the deck, you're almost never going to make a Stardust. You'd have to have one of these, a Sangin, or a Tour Guide. Well, it doesn't have to be one of those, but, you know, one of the level 4s, pretty much, those two. A Sangin or a Tour Guide, and then an Aolo. Unless, or a Veiler, but unless you wanted to try it a really hard way in this deck, but it's really never going to come up to the point where Stardust is worth going into in this deck anyway. So I took him out for the second Black Rose because obviously that is a little bit easier to go into. Yet another way to get rid of those high attack monsters that Logia and Dolka can't deal with is if the opponent plays into something like that, gives you a monster to run over with a Guaiba, which most good players probably won't anyway, but just saying, if that happens, you've got 2 separate Black Rose Dragons to make. So it's a very powerful tool in this deck because level 7s come out so easy in Jurracs. Same with 5s, but honestly you're only ever really going to need Catastor. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found this as a good deck. I've been having relatively high success rates with this deck. Too bad I didn't have it for when I went to Georgia. My tour guides didn't come in, so I just got back probably 30 minutes ago. I got back to my house and went straight to grab my tour guides because they came in the mail while I was in Georgia. And I've got plenty of deck profiles to make for you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy those. I think I'm going to do Rescue Rabbit next. Well, Dino Rabbit, I guess. I'll bring you guys the build I want to play of that next. That one will be evolving more because I haven't tested it as much, so you're going to have to bear with me on that. But I enjoy that deck. It's kind of fun. It's just another way to use the Evil Czars, which I am a fan of, as you guys probably know very well. So I'll probably bring you guys the Chaos Macro Jurrac builds. This is just regular Chaos Jurracs. Probably the last build I make of it. There might be a few modifications here and there, so if that happens, I'll update you guys. But this is really looking about how I want it to look for now. So, unless I see that I need to change something, this is pretty much it for the regular Chaos Jurracs. So, I hope you guys did enjoy this, and I guess that'll be the end of this video. So, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry I don't put out many videos these days. I really should do more, but I've just been, low on the cards. I've been waiting for those tour guides for so long. I've been planning, but they just kept not coming in. Something came up. I had to wait a really long time to get my tour guides, and that's what happens. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day.